What's up, you guys? It's your host, Galadon. Thank you for stopping by Galadon Gaming. Check me out on Twitter. Don't forget to send me your legendary cards that you created, and also send me hashtag Galadon Open My Chest. Those active giveaways are still going on. Right now, we're talking about the new meta, or at least part of the new meta seems to be the bait style decks. These decks that have so many little units. Personally, this is my favorite style of play. I'm just not a big fan of giant tanks that lumber across the screen and take forever to get there, and buildings that cost 5, 6, 7 elixir. Now, I do carry, of course, the Inferno Tower, but that's because I've got to stop those giant big tanks. In the meantime, I much prefer running through card after card after card. The panicked deployment and that last double elixir minute of the battles is just so much fun for me, and I really would love to see more cards like this that are costing 1, 2, 3, absolutely at the top end 4 elixir, but preferably closer to 3 or even less. It just makes the battle so much more fun, and there's so much you can do, especially when you have multiple counters. Now, throwing the Miner on one side and the Goblin Barrel on the other caused him to come back with a counter push on both sides. The Barbs go down, Skeleton Army doing a great job right there, and the Royal Giant, he is going to be toast with a little bit of help from the minions. I don't even know if they were needed, but we've got a tower down already, so it's just a matter of holding this guy off. Again, so many ways to counter, say, the Princess coming at you. I've got so many different cards I could use, so if, say, the log wasn't in my rotation, there are several other ways that I can try to stop that Princess. Maybe it won't be a positive elixir trade, but at least I can prevent her from sitting out there and doing damage to the tower. So again, we've got the Miner, we've got the Princess, Goblin Barrel, Fireball, so many different ways to get to the tower. Love the versatility of this deck, and right here, beautiful value out of that Fireball, takes out most of the rest of the Barbs and more hit points off that tower. So I kind of wanted to work on that left tower just in case the Royal Giant got in. This time, no Inferno Tower needed. The Princess and the Skeleton Army do a good job. Although the Giant does get the tower down to under 1,000 hit points, that's again why I've been pushing a little bit down the left-hand side, trying to keep the pressure on. You could just go purely defense at this point, save all of your elixir for preventing the push, but I would much rather try to keep the offensive pressure on in the meantime, just in case we need to go to a 2-1 battle. And heck, if you're out hunting crowns, why not, right? It's actually good to win 2-1 as opposed to 1-0. That's half as many battles as you need to unlock that next crown chest. So here it is again, the Miner, the Goblin Barrel, and the Princess, and the Log. Everybody going down, lots of cheap elixir cards. Time is going to count down. Don't need to do another thing to win this battle. No way. He throws me the angry taunt. I just couldn't resist but to give him the thumbs up as he threw me the Raging King. He also had a spectator watching the entire battle. So yeah, hashtag feels good, man. Okay, so next up is Camden, and he's clicking his cards like crazy. Couple of level 9s going at it. This was in Grand Challenge, by the way, you guys. This is the Grand Challenge, and again, loving this deck. I've been playing it in challenges and in trophy hunting mode as well. Oftentimes with a starting hand like this, I don't want to commit 6, 7, 8, 9 elixir to the very first push. So I'll just throw out the Miner by himself, and as you can see there, he grabbed maybe 250 hit points off the tower. Pretty happy with that. Now the Goblin Barrel, that might have been a bit of an aggressive move, because that Golem was coming at me, and you'll notice the Inferno was too far to the left. The Golem is going to get to the tower. Of course, we know that death damage from Golems does take out skeletons, but it's kind of the unfortunate necessity of using skeletons. A skeleton army there, much cheaper than, say, using the minion horde for the same purpose. Now that Log, did you see that Log take out that Tombstone? I thought that maybe that was overpowered to see a Log being able to take out the Tombstone and its skeletons in one move, but after we've seen so much use of the Golem Tombstone in the tournaments, I feel like maybe that shouldn't be changed, because if you nerfed the Log's ability to stop the Tombstone, then you're just making the Golem Tombstone deck and meta much, much more powerful. Alright, so we're down to the final 90 seconds of this match. He is getting ready with another Golem, and there goes my Goblin Barrel. This time he doesn't use the Zap spell, he goes to the Mega Minion, and the Princess doing a great job of damaging the tower and the Mega Minion. So by the time the Mega Minion gets over here, it is going to be too badly damaged to reach the tower. I just have to log his own Princess, and we've got his tower under 1,000 hit points. so it's still relatively close. We know we have to worry about that golem, especially during the last 60 seconds. But that is really where a fast deck like mine is going to do well. The final 60 seconds giving me a chance to drop card after card after card, and yes, break into a complete Galopanic as I try to stop it. Again, I know Skeleton Army is going to get blasted by the golem. It's an unfortunate fact that that works out that way, and I know there's probably better ways to do this. There's the Desperation Goblin Barrel on the defense, but it does help keep the tower up. We're down to about 30 seconds left in this battle. Another miner gets back there. Again, I'm not even doing anything aggressive with the miner. It's just the miner's chip damage by itself. The fireball makes sure that those archers are not going to be able to support the golem, and I've got the tower down. Squeezing in the Inferno Tower, just trying to keep that tower up for another 15 seconds. The Skeleton Army getting in there as well. The minions are going to get to the tower, and it's going to be super close. We squeeze in our own minions. We lose the tower with less than 10 seconds left. We can't stop it. And now it's like a fresh battle. Check out those two left lanes. That's right, both towers are untouched. It's like this battle is starting over. I'm using the Inferno Tower here to draw that golem in after the King's Tower. I would much rather have the golem go after the King's Tower as golemites. Here, one goes in each direction, and this time, Miner and Goblin Barrel getting some damage in on his tower at the same time, but it doesn't look good. We're about 900 hit points behind. He's got several units up. The log does a great job, takes out the princess, damages those archers. In comes another golem, center deployment golem. This time we're going to draw it way off to the right-hand side. Skeleton Army going to split it up, trying to send some up there, but the miner is going to get there in time, and check it out. Just a half of the Skeleton Army, the miner, the Goblin Barrel, doing a fantastic job of getting that tower severely damaged, while in the meantime, we pulled the golem off. It went after the King's Tower. So many more hit points there. I'm not really worried about a 3-crown loss. In comes the Skeleton Army to stall the Mega Minion. As you can see, we're just barely over a fireball, and with that miner getting in there, that is it. We are under a fireball away from ending this match. Here it comes, the fireball for the win, and good game. So 2-1, very close, but I'm still loving this deck and loving it, especially in these grand challenges. So we're off to the races again, this time from Rasta, and he's got another golem. Not a fan of the golems, but that's okay. If you love your golems, go ahead. I'm going to squeeze in my miner and try to get the Skeleton Army there, and check it out, only Larry survives. But that little itty-bitty Larry is going to do several hundred hit points in damage. Okay, a couple hundred hit points in damage by his lonesome. And first push gets about 1,000 hit points off that tower. So now, of course, we have to switch to defense. We know he's going to have something alongside that golem. There it is, the archers. They are going to try to get in there, but the log delays those units down the left-hand side. The Inferno Tower doing a good job. Golem is down. It is going to split off. There they go, both sides. So that's going to work out. As long as we can control the support units, we shouldn't take too much damage. Now, we do end up losing, okay, over 1,000 hit points on that left tower before we finally get that push down. So the trade, not looking so good suddenly. We get some damage off the left tower, but that's really not what we're concerned about. We're obviously focusing on the right-hand tower. And if you take that first minute of gameplay, we definitely do not have the upper hand. Trying to get the Goblin Barrel in there. Again, another opponent dropping, rather than the zap spell that was at hand, he used the Mega Minion, and that gave me about 400 hit points off that tower. The Mega Minion is not going to become a counter push. It's all by itself. I just have to stall it for a moment, and there it goes. No hit points off that right tower. All right, so another golem coming down the left. Another solo miner on the right-hand side, and check him out. Doing a great job, even though he is by his lonesome. The tower well under 1,000 hit points for just 3 elixirs. So I'm loving that move right there. Got to stop the princess on the right-hand side. That is a princess to counter the princess. Inferno Tower not going down, and this doesn't look good. Once again, stuck with using the Skeleton Army that is going to get blasted by the golem as it turns into golemites. The princess helps out for a few shots, and then she just wanders off. Not sure what her decision was there, but the golemites got out of range. She went off on the right-hand side. Fireball on the musketeer. I figured I probably had to do that. Just so much damage can come from a single musketeer if you don't counter it in some way. So here comes the golem one more time, and again, I'm going to be forced to use the Skeleton Army, and less than an optimal position. The princess wipes out half of the skeleton army with one shot. The other half goes down as the golem goes to golemites, and at least I've got the golemites splitting on either side. Defensive goblin barrel, I actually like that move right there. Probably saved the tower, and check this out. The skeleton army getting in there, getting to the tower, and suddenly so much damage coming off the left tower as another miner does work on the right tower. The fireball finishes off the right tower, and as time counts down, we have a clear victory right here. The left tower badly damaged, but we grab the 1-0 win from what currently is my favorite deck in the game. Loving these grand challenges. Don't forget, you guys, send me those legendary cards. Send me screenshots of your chest so I can open your chest. Subscribe, like, leave a comment down below, and yes, please do come back again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Gallydon, what if I don't want you to see my chest? I'm a bit shy.